isn't even in office yet, and everything is changing so swiftly around us already. Did you guys see this that just came out? FDA bans red food dye due to potential cancer risk. This is crazy. It's crazy to me that it took them this long to do it, but I think perhaps with RFK coming in and being a part of the administration, these companies are like starting to look at what's happening and they're saying, okay, time for us to get our ducks in a row so that we can keep our jobs. Perhaps. Is that what's happening? I'm going to share with you what we see in the news and on the internet regarding this topic. I'm excited about this because it's about time that these people stop poisoning Americans. But I'm going to share with you something at the end too that's going to help kind of bring this to a biblical perspective. Why should we care about this? Does God care about this? He's got a lot to say actually about this sort of stuff. So let's check out this first clip from Fox News and see what Fox News is saying about this red dye banning.
What a coincidence. Only weeks after RFK Jr. was tapped to lead the Department of Health and Human Services under President-elect Donald Trump, the FDA, they're now looking to ban artificial red food dye 3. We've talked about it a lot over the years. It is commonly used in processed foods. It is derived from petroleum. Now, this comes after a petition was filed stating the FDA, quote, cannot classify a color additive as safe if it has been found to induce cancer in humans or animals for years.
Go figure. Wouldn't that make sense? That if it could produce cancer in people, that maybe it should be illegal and it shouldn't be in our food supply. Yeah, here we are. Have you ever taken the time just to look at the back of anything that you eat or drink, a Mountain Dew for crying out loud, and looked at the ingredients that are in that sort of stuff? It blows my mind how much stuff is in there that you can't even pronounce, like hydroxychlorophylide and nitrogen bogglide and all this sort of stuff. What? Why? This stuff is made in a lab. It's literally made in a laboratory, and we put it in our bodies, and we wonder why we are becoming the most obese country on the planet and the most chronically ill. And then think about what happened in 2020 when they told us that, oh, if you want to stay healthy, we're going to shut down all the gyms and we're going to shut down, places of worship, but hey, you can wear a mask in your car on your way to the liquor store. That'll keep you healthy. Seems like everything is going to get exposed. All of the shams and charades, all of the people lobbying, big food companies, big pharma lobbying for their laws to be passed so that they can be immune from how they poison Americans. It looks like it's all coming crashing down. And your boy's here for it. I'm pretty excited, to be honest.
Donald Trump's pick for HHS Secretary RFK Jr., he's been slamming processed food in America with the goal of making America healthy again. And his role as HHS Secretary, red dye 3 is banned in other countries. Last year, California was the first state to ban multiple food additives, including red dye 3, as the dye has been shown to cause cancer in animals linked to an increase in childhood behavioral issues. Anyway, here with reaction, she is the host of the hit podcast, Keeping It Real. Jillian Michaels is with us. By the way, I did bring you...
Jillian Michaels, this is crazy, man. She was left as all get out. And now she's starting to get kind of red pilled. No pun intended.
McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken. One day you're gonna break down and just try it. I just want you to try it. A quarter pound of Big Mac. You had to start with that, meal. Sean.
How did you just lead off with that to just agitate the hell out of me at the beginning of our interview, huh? Okay, buddy.
Good thing.
Right.
Good thing you're not here. Here's the thing about red dye 3, right? It's banned in the European Union. It's banned in the UK. It's banned in Asia. It's banned in Australia. What do they know that we don't know?
Okay, so first off, if in fact the Biden administration gets the FDA to do this, all contributions cheerfully accepted. However, This is coming out of the whole Fruit Loop conversation of why do other countries not have these food dyes in them, and why do they color their food with fruit juice? So the reason this is happening here is because it's more profitable, because kids are attracted to it more and they make more money off of it. The way that they do it is through something called the GRAS rule, which is the generally recognized as safe rule, and that means that the food manufacturers who utilize these food dyes vouch for their safety, and that's good enough for the FDA. It is a loophole in the FDA, and it isn't just red number 3. It's 9,400 other chemicals that we allow in our food here and not in other countries.
That's just crazy to me, man. And we wonder, dude, why so many people are chronically ill, why so many people just look unhealthy. And let's just say it's about time. It's about time that we made these switches. I'm going to go through some other things here. People all over the internet having a lot to weigh in on this. Before I do, I want to share with you that I have actually partnered with a team. We've created this project called Switch with Cap. And if you want to stop buying stuff that's going to poison you, especially like your cleaning supplies and things like that, we have a solution for you. So you can go to switchwithcap.com to schedule a free call with our team to learn how you can buy made in America manufactured goods that are eco-friendly, high quality, aren't going to poison you. And also the team that we're building, promoting common sense, conservative values. Man, do we need more of that in our culture? Or what? So check out switchwithcap.com to schedule a free call with our team to learn about the subscription-based shopping system. If you don't like it, you can cancel anytime. You can get a full refund, no hassle. But just because you get on the call doesn't mean you even need to shop. Get on a call just to learn more, and our team would also love to pray with you. I'll put a link down below in the comments and in the description. But this is the year to get healthy. This is the year to detoxify your home according to the current or upcoming administration. So let's get on the bandwagon. Let's dump all the poisonous stuff and make a switch. Switchwithcap.com. Now, let's see what Benny Johnson had to say. Benny Johnson posts, FDA bans red number 3 artificial coloring used in beverages, candy, and other foods. Evidence shows that the synthetic dye can cause cancer in lab animals. What's so crazy is when RFK was announced to be a part of the Trump administration, everybody was calling him a crazy kook and just like anti-vaxxer and all that sort of stuff. And what's amazing is when you look at RFK next to the Biden administration's health secretary, who is, sorry to say it, a transgender, a man who thinks he's a woman, overweight, obese, and you put the two next to each other, I'm thinking, which one better depicts what the ideal health situation looks like? But that's what's so crazy about today is that the narrative in the media has deceived people so much that they're not even willing to just like look at things with their own 2 eyes and hear things with their own 2 ears and make a sound critical thinking judgment on their own of what they're looking at. Like, you have people who tell us that it's okay and healthy and normal to ride on an electric scooter through Walmart with a mask on your face. And if that's you, by the way, there's no shame on you. I'm not hating on you, but let's call a spade a spade. That's not God's design for health. So pretty wild. Isabel Brown, she's going to break down her own thoughts on this, and she's got something great to say.
Can we just spend a few minutes talking about how the FDA is so scared of this absolute superhero of a man that this morning the FDA actually banned red dye number 3 due to potential cancer risks, which for the record is already illegal in Europe and Australia, but is in like everything we consume as Americans, which for the record, they were under no legal obligation to do so. They just decided now would be a convenient time. I wonder why. This comes, by the way, just a few days after the FDA quietly changed their definition of healthy according to the Food and Drug Administration, which hadn't been updated since the early 1990s, which pretty much up to this point allowed the FDA to qualify anything under this umbrella term as healthy, including fortified fruit punch that wasn't even real juice, breakfast cereals that are loaded with food dyes and added sugars, and so much more. But now, in anticipation of RFK's cleaning house of the FDA, presumably in an effort to clean up their act before he is confirmed as our HHS secretary, the new healthy label means fruits and vegetables are healthy.
What?
Salmon is healthy.
Dude, that's crazy.
Water is healthy. Why we didn't know that before, I don't know. Extra virgin olive oil instead of canola oil is healthy.
Dude, there's so much about this that's just like, it is mind-blowing to me how we have been so duped to think that it's healthy to just eat processed wheat and crackers and gluten and, oh, like you should probably eat your meat in moderation. What? Are you kidding me? That's what we believed. And no wonder people are like as sick as they are. Everything caked in canola oil, vegetable oil, highly processed oil that's going to like mess with your brain. Probably one of the reasons why so many people have Parkinson's disease and neurodegenerative diseases when they're old. It's like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? But hey, all of a sudden, revelation. The revelation came that maybe it's actually better to eat real foods that God himself created.
And oh my gosh, shocking reversal of policy. Eggs are now good for you. So after screaming at you for years about how eggs are destroying your health, that they raise your cholesterol, they're going to cause you to die a premature death, avoid at all costs, eggs are now healthy. Tell me you've been lying and gaslighting to the American people with propaganda from the experts on what was considered healthy and totally safe for us, and now we're having to backtrack because one person is committed to exposing the fraud in this industry without telling me. FDA,
That is crazy, bro. That's crazy. I think it's true. I think it's 100% true. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you think that they're trying to like clean up their tracks before RFK comes into office and starts exposing all of the madness with the health crisis in America. Just buckle up when he starts investigating into what happened during the pandemic and the whole you-know-what program and ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. You just wait. Like, it's going to be crazy. And then let's, like, when we talk about how, you know, we want to see what happened in the 2024 election, let's expose all of the fraud because, you know, there's no way Trump could have won in a landslide. Let's just expose it. Let's show it all. Let's show everything that happened in the 2020 election while we're at it as well. I really think people are just like, they're trying to like save their heads and clean this up before they get exposed. And I have this hunch because I have a friend who is part of ICE. He works on the border, and he said the past handful of years, unrelated to the health stuff, but similar in spirit. I was asking him how it was like working on the border during this whole debacle of an administration where all of these people are pouring in to the United States. And he said, as soon as Trump got elected, it was as if dad was coming home and a house party was being thrown and dad is pulling into the driveway and everybody's freaking out, trying to clean up everything, all of the neglect, all of the, you know, just incompetency, just cleaning it all up before the man comes home. So I'm just seeing it all over, and I'm thinking, yeah, to me, it's no coincidence that they took something that is clearly poisonous and said, yeah, you know what, maybe we should ban that and not allow that in foods. So anywho, pretty interesting stuff. Let's see if we have anything else here that we can cover. Oh, let's listen to the man himself, RFK. Let's listen to what he has to say about what's going on in foods. This will probably shock you to hear what he has to say.
Constantly put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way. Until the early 1990s, our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared to the highest of any developed country on earth. Same with infant mortality. Like the frog in the slowly boiling water, we didn't really notice as we got sicker and sicker. We've grown now to accept chronic disease conditions as normal. But now, in 2024, we're finally waking up to this cataclysm, and we're asking ourselves, how in the world did this happen? Well, a big part of it is our diet. Restaurants that serve contaminated food are fined or shut down. But when it's the government that approves the poisons in our food, a few people get very, very rich, and the toxins end up in every supermarket aisle. Let me show you what I mean.
So I just think it's crazy, man. Like, this is why you can't take what the internet or what mainstream media says about somebody very seriously until you do your own due diligence. Because I'm like, the mainstream media has been working overtime to paint this guy as a loon, as a crazy guy. But dude, if you listen to his content, he is like so consistent, and it's just common sense. It's just common sense. Is this crazy, or is this common sense that maybe, just maybe, we would be healthier if we removed all of these toxins from our foods? And maybe, before we start putting all of these inoculations in our babies' bodies right when they're born, maybe we should just get a little bit more information and give the parent like actual informed consent before doing this. Let me know what you think in the comments about that.
Doritos, Cheez-Its, Captain Crunch, gummy bears. Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tetrazine, or yellow dye number 5. What you may not know is that this dye was originally made out of the sludge that's left over when you turn coal into coke for blast furnaces. It's called coal tar, and I've actually sued many big industries for legacy contamination of coal tar all around the country because it's so toxic and it's so harmful to the environment and human beings. A century ago, it was just an obnoxious industrial byproduct that everybody was trying to figure out ways to get rid of. One of the ways that they did that was by paving roads. But then a British chemist figured out that the coal tar could be used to derive fabric dye. And if fabric dye, why not food? Food manufacturers began using it to cover up the discoloration of low-quality foods that they wanted to pass off on unsuspecting customers. They didn't know back then that this yellow dye, tartrazine, causes tumors, asthma, developmental delays, neurological damage, ADD, ADHD, hormone disruption, gene damage, anxiety, depression, intestinal injuries. Well, we know it now. We've known this for decades. That's why tartrazine is heavily restricted in other countries. In some countries, foods with tartrazine have a warning label that it may cause ADHD in children. Today, it's made from petroleum, not coal tar. Either way, it's crazy to add this to your kids' favorite foods. It doesn't even change the flavor.
Dude. All right. All right, my man is going in. He's going in. Let me share some scripture with you. This is what God's will is for you and for your health. 3 John chapter 2, verse 1. It says, chapter 1, verse 2. Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health just as your soul prospers. God wants you to be healthy. Oh, it's not that big a deal. Like we're going to get new bodies. So what, you're going to trash the one body that you have right now before you go to heaven? What if you could optimize your health? What if you could have mental clarity? What if maybe you've been struggling with depression and anxiety and it has nothing to do with, maybe you thought it was a demon this entire time. Maybe it's just because you eat junk and God wants to free you from that, put some different things inside your body that will actually, like, once your body, like your body's like a car. Think about it like this. If you put the wrong fuel in a car, it doesn't matter how great the fuel is. If it's the wrong fuel, the car's not going to go anywhere. But so many of us are putting in the wrong fuel in our bodies, and we're wondering why they're not working properly. What does this mean? Well, two things. One, I'm really excited for how God is exposing all of this corruption in the world right now. And buckle up, I think 2025, we haven't even seen the beginning. You thought 2024 was a year of exposing. This year is going to be even better. All these wrongs are going to be righted. All of the wickedness is coming to the surface. And my encouragement to you, number two, is take ownership of learning what's going on. Like, don't just take what experts say at face value. Be a critical thinker. At what point was it a crime for us to actually ask better questions and to do our own research and to say, you know what? I'm responsible for taking care of myself and my family. I'm not delegating that to the government to tell me what's right and what's wrong. And I'm certainly not delegating it to the culture to make me feel bad about asking these sorts of questions. You're not going to stand before the government when you die. You're not going to stand before the culture when you die. You're going to stand before God, and you're going to have to give an account for how you stewarded your life, your health, your marriage, your kids, your family, your finances, the gifts that God's given you. This is a season. I believe that God is ushering people into a season of saying, no more dependence on these third-party entities, because these experts don't even really know what they're talking about at best, and at worst, as RFK is saying, they're doing these sorts of things just to line their own pockets at your expense. But if you were to serve God and say, Lord, I want you to lead me in taking care of my temple, and being a prosperous person in every area of my life, not just financially, but in my health and in my spirit and in my relationships, I'm telling you, God's got way better wisdom than the world has to offer. And it just makes sense. So let's commit to that in 2025. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. Subscribe for more. And again, if you want to wean yourself off of buying these things that are toxic to your home, to your family, we are selling these non-perishable items, cleaning supplies, body wash, deodorant, protein powder, even like if you like good steak, you should get it through us as well. Go to switchwithcap.com to schedule a free call with our team to learn more about how you can buy made in America manufactured goods, eco-friendly, high quality, and promote non-woke conservative values while you do it. No need to shop. If you don't want to shop, have our team pray for you. They'd love to pray for you on that call. Otherwise, God bless you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.